All right. You also take instances, say for example, a child that you will tell the child to do something once, he will not answer you. You have to come back to repeat yourself. The child will not answer you until you say it like 5 times. Now, a lot of things may be at play here. The child may actually be battling with forgetfulness and absent mindedness. There are some children that you will tell them, okay, go to the room, go and bring my purse, my shoe, put off the light, drag the curtains. The child will just enter the room, bring your shoe, and walk away. Obviously, all of the information, the instruction you are giving to that child has forgotten. But trust the African parent to say, you are very stubborn. It is what is in your mind that you want to do. I told you to do three things. You did only one because you are trying me. Iwa. That child may be struggling with absent-mindedness, and you really need to help that child develop his long-term and short-term memory. Now, I'm not saying that children don't misbehave deliberately. Oh. Sometimes children just want to test boundaries. Now, my mommy, she no go do anything. I've heard a lot of children say, let's go outside and play. My mommy will just shout, she will not do anything. So that one is another issue on its own. You know now that at that point, as a parent, even your discipline strategies is not at the optimum. Your children don't even take you seriously anymore. The principle of see finish has entered. Once children begin to disrespect you, begin to misbehave intentionally because they know that you will not do anything. Now, at that point, you know that as a parent, you have to call yourself back and say, I now need to draw the lines. We need to draw boundaries, set clear boundaries. And as a parent, you also have to follow through on instructions, follow through on discipline. When you tell the child, if you don't do this, I will make sure that you don't get your dinner until you finish washing this plate. And then the child now keeps the face somehow. You now start beating the child. You now say, go and carry your food and stop behaving as if you want to faint. Tomorrow, that child will not wash those plates because he knows that you are not going to follow through on your threats. All right. So, as a parent, if you know that you really want children to stop these misbehaviors, if it so happens that your children are misbehaving intentionally, you have to, once you say you will do something, for the sake of that child, so that that child can be disciplined, make sure that you follow through. And also don't give ambiguous threats. Don't give impossible threats that you know you cannot do. You tell the child, if you don't wash the plate, I'll break your head. We both know that you're not going to break anybody's head. Even the child knows that you're not breaking anybody's head. So that child is not going to wash the plate. If you don't finish your assignment, I will come to school. I will disgrace you on the assembly. You will not. Do you understand? So these are things that as parents really need to pay attention to. Also, now for teenagers, when teenagers begin to misbehave, before you start flogging a child, I'll give you a story. There was this particular guy that just suddenly started stealing the mother's money, and the mother would flog and flog and flog. No reason. A good child just started picking the mother's money. At a point, the mother came to us and we were like, see, you need to get to the root of this thing. We know this boy. This boy has not been like that. This boy grew up in our hands. So for him to begin to be stealing your money, and with all the beatings he's still stealing, we have to find out where this problem is coming from. We began to diagnosis of misbehavior. We found out that they moved to a new environment, so they had to change the boys' school. And those guys in the school were very, very much involved in drugs. And this boy, they gave him, he tested it once, and he had to start keeping up. He has to bring money for the friends that, this person will bring money to the Dubai. This person bring money to the Dubai. So they were just, going around and they were picking their parents' money. So now, if the mother had focused on that money that the boy is stealing, the boy will probably stop stealing her money and start looking for other means to get money. Do you understand? But that's underlying issue, the main problem, because that stealing money was just like the headache of the malaria that was disturbing the boy. The major issue was that this boy was moving with the wrong set of people, and this boy was getting involved in drugs. After drugs, the next thing was that patronizing prostitutes is a pattern. So as parents, especially for your teenagers, once they just start a strange behavior, especially suddenly your daughter that is dressing very well before, suddenly she started cutting her skirt, she's dragging her shirt down so that her cleavage can show, she's talking to people rudely, that let's say one brother, I started talking to my sister, my daughter, I started telling her that she's beautiful. So These are things that as parents, don't just focus on the misbehavior. Find out where that thing is coming from, all right? And then another reason why teenagers misbehave is when you, the parents, you become very generous with their problem. Take for instance now this boy that I just talked about, or this girl that just started dragging her cloth down, making her clothes tight and everything. You now pick up the phone, call your mother. Ha, mama, I need you to pray for me. Oh, my daughter Clara, she wants to start prostitution. Her skirt, all her skirt. You call your mother. You call your sisters. You go to her school to tell all her teachers. I want you people to put your eyes on her. Oh. Watch the friends. Oh, she wants to turn to a bad girl. One thing, two things. You call pastor. Pastor, pray for my daughter. Oh, my daughter is this. You now report that child to everybody around you. You disgrace that child. See, a lot of children at that stage, they will do two or more things. Number one, they will distrust you to the point that they will just become so quiet. They will withdraw into their shell. They will never confide in you. They will never talk to you about anything. They will rather talk to other people outside. Or then they now become rebellious, especially for boys. They will now decide that as you decide that you want to be disgracing me, I will give you reasons. That is when you now see that, it's like this child is becoming so rebellious. It's becoming this. So as a parent, you to try as much as possible to get better ways to discipline your child. Try as much as possible to be able to communicate, reach your children, talk to them in a way that they will open up to you, and then you guys can resolve issues. If you need assistance, talk to a counselor, but don't expose your child to everybody, every Tom, Dick, and Harry, and then the child begins to lose self dignity, self esteem is going down. You really don't need to do that to your children. So, in a nutshell, as parents, whenever a child misbehaves, don't be in a hurry to say, today, the way my father trained me, that is how I will train you. My father gave me 24 and my sense was correct. I will give you 50 strokes of cane. It will make your sense more correct. Don't be in a hurry to do all of that. Don't be in a hurry to tell the child, go and kneel down there, give me 700 press-ups, 700 frog jumps. Find out where, because there's no smoke without fire. Every misbehavior is like smoke. If you send the smoke away, the fire is still burning somewhere. So as parents, always find out why, all right, so that you can deal with the problem from the roots and then not just cutting branches. Sometimes the child needs help, sometimes the child needs counseling, sometimes you need to separate the child from some certain people. Sometimes it's the environment and you just need to change the child's probably learning environment. So find out why. It will give you an idea of a lasting solution. So once again, thank you so much. I am Faith Benjamin, an educator, a parenting coach, a children's talent coach, and an amazing storyteller. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please click on the subscription button and subscribe so that you can continue to get interesting videos about how to make your parenting journey easier